All right. Two things before this episode of the podcast starts. One, there is no video because I did not have a camera to record this on. My home camera was dead. Also, as usual, I'd like to thank my patrons, Edgar and Taylor. And also, don't forget to check out the episode on Spotify. Thank you. Got completely off track.
I think Willie did that in both of his podcasts. I remember the first one he went on a really long tangent about. Yeah.
I tried to make a video once, and you were gonna be in the video. It was favorite games, and I had a segment for.
Dude, we should just start right now because I'm already in the.
Now you're in the mood.
Yeah.
Well, usually when I edit them, I just we talk for a bit.
Yeah.
And then I'll edit the first little bit of that conversation in.
Okay.
And then it will be Hey guys, welcome to the Convos of Calvin podcast. I'm your host Calvin, and today I'm joined by my childhood friend Mickey.
How's it going? It's finally an honor, dude. It's been I've been trying. I've been trying to get on this for so long. I always thought it was super cool. Just kind of going and doing your own podcast. You don't really get any chance to do that on the regular basis. Yeah.
Because, you can see where the phone buzzed on the audio waves.
Oh, my bad.
Boy, be loud.
Ooh.
But yeah, it was I was literally just going through a phase where I was just listening to podcasts, and it was just people talking to each other. It was just, friends hanging out, laying on couches and stuff. And I was like, that's easy as fuck.
I think, the idea of starting a podcast sounds super easy until you have to...
Until you do
get the equipment. And
the equipment's expensive, especially now with quarantine stuff, and I might have talked on it in an earlier one, but a lot of the equipment, microphones, soundboards, all that stuff have gone up by $30 to $40, and now even then it's if I order it, it's gonna take 3 extra weeks to get here, and it gets a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome though, definitely.
My first exposure to podcasts, though, were those, sit-down conversation interview type podcasts. So, whenever someone will be oh, did you know Calvin has a podcast? They'll always turn to me and they'll be oh, what's it about? And, I don't know how to explain to that person that it's not about anything.
I think that's what makes, some of the best podcasts, though, because I know I listen to, the H3 podcast. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, I love the H3 podcast.
I listen to a few others, but I think the overall base, is that some of them, they don't have a theme.
Yeah.
And I think that creates for a lot of great, comedy podcasts.
Yes.
Especially.
That's why I love the Gus and Eddie podcast so much, because it is that, it's literally two comedians that have a podcast.
And I use podcasts. I'm like you. I think I started listening to podcasts probably 5 or 6 years ago. It became something where I didn't like listening to music when I worked out because I would just spend hours in the gym and I couldn't listen to this. I still, to this day, I can't listen to music at all. It's something where listening to just people talk, it feels like you're in a conversation with them. Like you're just there and you can almost get lost within it. Like you're having a conversation with an old pal. I can listen to your podcast and you can tell a story and I could be, hey, I've heard that one before. And I can look back or maybe even you'll mention a story and you'll get a hey, that was a little shout out to me. That's kind of cool. So I think that's kind of unique especially you starting a podcast. It's something where it's the first podcast where not only me, but, any of your family members or your friends can be hey, I was in that, or you can listen to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really go back and listen to a lot of my own podcasts because, there's this weird out-of-body experience that comes, and I touch on this on every single podcast episode that I do. There's a weird out-of-body experience that you have with hearing your own voice.
I hate the sound of my own voice. I'm gonna hate it when this comes out. That said, I know a lot of creators hate listening to their own stuff as well. Not only not just their voice, but they don't like to listen to their own stuff to begin with, because then they overanalyze and critique it, and it just becomes a matter of work, and it's not
100%
a piece of artwork that you put out. Because I guarantee how you feel about the podcast, you know, it isn't huge, but it's something where you're probably very passionate about it, and it means a lot to you. So it's almost like your artwork.
What I really want to do, and like I'm thinking of renaming the channel and stuff, is I really just want to rename it to like Just Calvin, and I just want it to be a place where I can post whatever I want and kind of push the podcast a little bit more to the side. And it's like I want to be able to put an occasional gaming video up here. I want to be able to put sketch comedy stuff up here. I want to be able to put a commentary video up here. Granted, I don't make sketch videos. I don't make comedy videos. I don't make gaming videos because I'm not good at all three of them. I'm good at rambling, which is why I have a podcast. Hold on, the door just popped open. So you can keep talking.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, though, because branching out, especially, I mean, all three of those things are things that you feel very passionate about, I would say, and I think you have good content to put out for it.
I've been trying to be more like, I'm trying to expand my creativity, and I think it's in the last actual podcast I didn't have a TikTok account, and the person I had on is semi-TikTok famous. And they were like, do you have a TikTok? And I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to get one. And of course, like everyone else during quarantine, I kind of caved and I got one. Yeah. And I think it's actually fun to kind of make content for it, because literally maximum, I think the most viewed post I have only has 240 viewers. And it's like, that's still a solid feeling, because I can make these quick 6-second trashy videos, and like it keeps me thinking creatively and trying to like make more observational comedy, which is like the baseline comedy shit.
Definitely.
And it's like, if I keep working at this, maybe I could actually post sketch comedy to YouTube, and like, yeah.
And I think you're just at an early start, so you're either way you go, whether you start off through TikTok or whatever it is, I think is an easy way to throughout time. I mean, you'll gain traction. It's only,
you look at any YouTuber now, and they aren't doing the same thing that they were when they started.
No.
So
I mean, that goes for anything in life.
Except for like some people like Gus Johnson, who started with sketch comedy, up until now are still doing sketch comedy. Like there's some people like him that are stubborn, like I'm gonna make this work, and he's made it work for himself.
I think it's just doing what moves you. And if your passions change, that's why you see creators go through, you know, Minecraft YouTubers quit. They don't want to play Minecraft anymore. They're tired of it, you know? Passions change, and if sketch comedy is what makes Gus Johnson happy, you know, and he's good at it, stay with it.
I had this social climbing is a thing where like you go follow a bunch of accounts on other social medias, and like a lot of people, it's courtesy to follow them back. Yeah. I got followed by this person who does like stop motion YouTube animations, and I've had conversations with them back and forth because we're both small content creators. Yeah. And they put a poll up on their Instagram, and they were like, should I keep doing my stop motion videos, or would you guys like to see more of these goofy vlog type videos that I do? So like I responded, and I basically said the same thing that you said. It's like, make what you're passionate about. If you make what you're passionate about, it will always be like top quality, and you'll always find an audience no matter what it is.
Yeah. Granted, that audience, I mean, what gains traction isn't always what you
want to do.
Exactly.
And it's like, I feel like people have lost sight of what the platform of YouTube is really supposed to be, and it's like, it's you making the content that you want to make. And I feel like a lot of people, or at least a lot of the big name people, and a lot of I'm rambling, a lot of newcomers to the platform want to do it because they want to become a big name YouTuber and they want to make that sweet YouTube money.
Cash. That Raid Shadow Legend cash. Oh, gosh.
But it's like, I don't want to do that. I'm literally doing this for fun because I like making the podcast.
Yeah, that's until Raid Shadow Legends comes up
You
and
want
says, hey, we'll buy. Yeah.
They literally have reached the ultimate form of advertising of becoming a meme. It's like you can't get any higher of an advertisement than that.
No, I will never download that game.
Gus Johnson has a really good commentary. I always talk about him. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, so it makes sense. He has a really good commentary video talking about how predatory game, like mobile game ads are. Like when they sponsor you to do an ad. There is an old JonTron video on a mobile game called Dungeon Quest V. And literally the whole video is just it's a 13-minute video about this one mobile game. And I was like, me being like a dumb 13-year-old kid or whatever, I was like, oh, I like JonTron. He support this game. 13-minute video must be good. Was not good. Full of microtransactions. You can only play like the first 5 levels. It was awful. And it really, I was having a conversation with someone earlier, it really makes me miss the days of like good mobile games.
I was gonna ask, am I able to curse?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not sponsored by Raid, so it's okay. Dude, I feel like there's some like fucked up mobile games.
Yeah.
Like if you really go down, like what goes out on some of these mobile games is just insane.
Yeah.
It's like
it's literally like a lot of the games that come out now. It's one of two companies, Ketchup or Voodoo, and if it's not, it's some subsidiary, and a really rare attempt. It will be an ex-Flash game developer or like an actual indie developer, and their game is also launching on computers and stuff. But those two companies basically rule the mobile game market, and they literally just pump out this low-quality garbage. Like stock 3D asset.
Just
like... And what I've noticed now is there are all these games that are kind of trying to hit that like pleasure center of, oh, this is super satisfying. Like I always get this ad and it's this like
the
wood chipper, and it hits down on the grain of wood and it curls up a thing of wood. I get that all the time.
I always get the it's almost like a U shape and it's collecting the balls. What I love, and it's never like, see, this is the mobile like games how they get you.
Yeah,
because it's not even part of the game. I hate mobile games. I cannot stand them. It's like it'll show you the game and then the background is always something super relaxing, and I'm like, it draws me in, and I'm like, yo. The vibes.
My least favorite thing is when for some reason it's a new trend in mobile game ads to show you something that's really simple, like a really easy puzzle, and the quote unquote person playing the game for the life of them cannot solve the puzzle. Like the pin pulling thing, and like every game has an ad of that now. And none of the games have it. There's one for Gardenscapes, doesn't have it.
Ooh, Gardenscapes.
There are all of these different ads for this game called AFK Arena. There are all sorts of ads for it showing these like huge tower defense sections, 3D like action RPG aspects. It's literally just cartoon Raid Shadow Legends with flat JPEGs and a little bit more strategy. That's all it is, and all of these ads are just lying to you, and they're getting away with it, and
I only get the ad of it's the stickman hanging in the air, and he cuts the rope with the bear, and the bear always gets him. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
And I'm like, it's so easy to solve.
Come on! If you just pull this pin, it'll get rid of the lava, and then you can get the gold!
In conclusion, mobile games are fucking
Mobile games suck. Give me back Angry Birds 1, Plants vs. Zombies, Pocket God, Tiny Bird, and original Minecraft Pocket Edition.
So, I almost ended up in a pyramid scheme today.
Please do tell.
So this is actually very interesting. So the college that I'm attending, Wabash, their big thing is internships, and it's not unusual.
Yeah.
I've had alumni reach out. A big thing with this school is donors. Like, I've had people that I don't know email me offering me, like, if I need help with anything. Just
that's super cool.
Exactly. And I'm not going to a big school either. It's a smaller school, but the fact that they have such, their alumni really care about that school. So
yeah.
I've been offered job positions before, which is why it's not uncommon when I got a text that was said, hey, this is, I mean,
the word
I won't
you
say
want to look out for is trickle down marketing.
So I had visited earlier back in February where I met this one kid I'm going up for football. A kid on the football team named Cooper. Cool kid. I mean, I spent the night with him. He was a good dude.
He was a goon.
Yeah. And so he's kind of been like a I kept his number. We've kept in contact. Basically, I get this text from this one lady that says, hey, I work at this marketing firm in Jacksonville where I work with Cooper. Basically, what am I doing? I have the text. Why don't I just read it to you? Actually, no, I think I might have deleted it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Basically saying, we're looking, he recommended you for this job. We'd like to interview you. And they're like, starting pay is like $15 an hour, and I'm looking for a job before I go off to college, just make some extra money, And so it's all remote. I could work from home. I was like, okay, this sounds nice. Obviously sounds, but the thing that was why I didn't second guess it was coming. Like my first initial thought is, hey, this is Cooper. I know this kid from my college. And I've had alumni reach out to me about stuff like this before.
Did you try and contact Cooper about it?
Yes. So I did contact Cooper. I got a call from this girl. It was the number, and basically sounded super sweet chick. She was a college student, and basically like told me everything about this company, and everything sounds super. It sounded
legit.
Yeah, and so I wanted to make sure. I looked it up, all this stuff. It's a legitimate company. The company's called Vector. It's in Jacksonville.
Oh, I've heard of Vector.
Yeah, and so the moment I looked it up, though, I started to see like a common thread where people was like, "Hey, is this Vector thing a scam?" I've been hired for Vector, and basically what I saw was Vector is not a pyramid scheme. However, what they do is they've done this for decades.
Oh no.
Because what I did was I texted Cooper. Yeah. I was like, hey, thank you for recommending me to this.
For this job.
Yeah. I'm a little sketched out. I want to make sure it's not sketchy. He said it was pretty legit and that his dad had did it back when he was in college as well.
Yeah.
And so Cooper's also he's majoring in marketing.
In marketing, yes.
So this is not like, well, at this point after I had looked it up, it was a little more like, I was a little more sketch.
Yeah.
Basically this company Vector, they've done this for decades. They will hire college students to sell knives, like cookware, to your family.
That's why I've heard of Vector, because Vector is a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Oh!
And what they do is they overload these students.
And they push the products, and then they can't push the products, and they can't pay back the company. Oh,
and then they fire the students. Yo. So it's very short-term income.
And then they're in debt.
Exactly.
Yo!
So, I mean, I don't know if Cooper knows what he's in, or if I was scheduled to have an interview this morning. Obviously, I just blew it off.
You dude.
So,
see,
I mean,
you telling the story brings back memories to me. I was friends with this girl who I'm not gonna name. My freshman year, and obviously sophomore year, she leaves the high school and she moves out to St. Pete where she's going to college. I get a call. Of course, I don't answer the phone because I'm a sophomore in high school. I'm not even 16 yet. I'm still 15. And then I get a text from the lady that tried to call me saying a lot of the same things. Hey, your friend blah, blah, blah recommended you to work at this job. We're based out in St. Pete. You can work from home. All you need is a computer and a cell phone. And I messaged the girl and I was like, hey, I'm a little sketched out by this. Is this legit? And she was like, yeah, it pays super well. It's like $15 an hour. And all you got to do is make phone calls.
That's basically what Cooper had told me.
And then I was like, oh, okay. And then I like looked at it. I went to the website, not a professionally made website. I don't even remember the name of the company. And then I was like, this says I have to work for like, it was in my mind as a sophomore what I thought was insane hours, so I didn't take it. But now you retelling your story and everything, I'm sitting here and I'm realizing that like someone tried to get me to do a pyramid scheme as a 16-year-old, and I'm pretty sure it was like more of a telemarketing pyramid scheme, if anything. I'm just sitting here now like, what?
I mean, you never think like when you see people enter pyramids, it's like you're like it's the obvious.
It's so obvious. How can they do it?
But when it becomes personal, that's when it's like you could see my mindset was, hey, I was thinking
really
this is
solid.
throughout,
I trust this guy.
This is through the college. I'm like, none of that.
I don't know if you can trust Cooper anymore, Mickey. I'm
exactly.
gonna
be honest.
Say it.
Sorry, Coop.
You're gonna be walking around school, and he's gonna walk up to you, and he's gonna be like, hey, listen here. I know some way you can make quick cash, trickle down marketing, not Pure Vita, whatever the Natural Life or something like that. The company that sells the
Pure Vita.
Is it Pure Vita?
Yeah.
Pure Vita is not the one that's a pyramid scheme though. It's like it's literally like Natural Light or something.
Pure
like
Life.
That. Yeah, that's what it is. Pure Life.
What is Pure Life?
It's they sell vitamins and supplements. And like it's one of those things where it's not like a scam product, like it actually works, it legitimately checks out, but like the people that sell it are in a pyramid scheme.
Dude, I mean, I don't know. I
think LuLaRoe or something like some company name like that is also pyramid scheme type stuff. Also, Tupperware is like the most organized pyramid scheme I've ever seen.
Tupperware? What?
Yeah, dude, Tupperware does the same exact marketing tactics as a lot of pyramid schemes. At least from my experience with it, because for years, my aunt sold Tupperware like it was her fucking job.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Gets pretty wild. We are only like 15 minutes in, and we've already talked about a lot.
We can take a little break.
Do you want to answer a couple questions first, and then we can take a little break?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me pull the questions back up.
It has felt a lot longer.
Yeah, it does feel a lot longer. Oh, okay. So this was a question I was really excited for. What are some of your most controversial opinions?
What are some of my most controversial?
They can be on like anything. 1 second.
I actually need a second to think about this. If you go first, give me a second to think.
It's gonna take me a second to think. I mean, all my stuff is like, I don't think iPhones are that good. Just like, it's not really controversial, but like people would flame me if I ever actually said it.
I'm not a very controversial person, Calvin.
Yeah, I know. I feel like both of us kind of just go with the flow for the most part.
I was gonna say, I haven't gotten in a fight with someone in
It feels like years.
It's been whenever I last broke up with my ex. That was the last fight I was in.
So instead of controversial opinions, we'll just move to a different question that I just came up with in my head. We're gonna go to the old playground debate: knights, samurais, or pirates. Who would win?
Samurais or pirates? Well, pirates would be the first to go. 100%.
I agree. They aren't armored enough. I don't care if they have guns. Samurais could make paper armor that would stop bullets.
I see. My initial response is samurai because like they're fucking badass.
I think my answer is samurai.
But I think the knights just they got it, man.
I don't know because like when you think about it,
where are the knights from?
I don't know, just knights. It's not.
If we're talking
this is like you gotta think. It's like elementary school debate type stuff. It's
but if we throw Vikings in there,
Vikings. Oh man,
shit goes down.
That shit. They made a whole game about it. It goes down so hard.
What?
For Honor.
I've never heard of that.
You've never heard of For Honor? Oh
no.
Man, it was not good at first, but it's good now.
My only
it's a fighting game.
No, my first where was I going with that? How to Train Your Dragons. That's where I was going.
I'm samurai all the way, baby.
Yeah, I think I gotta get knights.
Samurai, they know how to katana. Katanas are also really sharp. Samurai, they know how to ride on horseback. Guess what else they have? They have bows, and guess what else existed well before the samurai? Plate-piercing arrows. So, they got like 17 advantages over these essentially human tanks.
You know what the knights have? Horse.
Horse.
Dude, you know what is an... Okay, so I went on a good anime binge over the past year. It's really
nice.
Found kind of it's like I've just opened myself up a lot more to new shows and that I wouldn't ever think. Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of Samurai Champloo?
I have heard of Samurai Champloo. I know it's good. I've never watched it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Calvin, that's my favorite show of all time.
Really? Hell yeah.
It's the best show I've ever seen. Without a doubt.
I know it's
if I can describe if in one word. Vibes.
Yeah.
The vibes.
It's one of those shows that
immaculate.
Immaculate. It's one of those shows that like has really good art direction and a really good soundtrack on top of it.
Oh my god, the soundtrack.
And they came out with a Samurai Champloo game on the PS2, I think.
Yeah.
And it is just
not very good.
It's very good. It's criminal how bad it is because it has some genuinely good ideas. Like you have these two, you have like a DJ table on the top or like bottom of your screen or something, and you switch through these different records, and depending on what two records you have selected, your moveset, your attack, your like health, everything completely changes.
That game does not do justice to the show.
And it doesn't, and that's one of the most criminal things ever. Oh, I do have a controversial opinion. Freaking everyone knows Percy Jackson, alright?
Yeah.
Magnus Chase, the Norse mythology trilogy, is better than the entirety of the Percy Jackson series, and that's on fucking mamas.
I can't really argue with that.
I know you can't argue, but it's Rick Riordan's writing at its absolute finest. And it is criminal that it is only 3 books because he totally set it up to be a pentology. And I am so unbelievably upset it's only 3 books. I cannot stress that enough.
If I could sum up my entire experience with the Percy Jackson series, it's the Lady Gaga Lotus scene. That's it. From I think the first one.
From the first movie, yeah.
That's it. That's all I know.
Into the Lotus
and then the Medusa garden. Yeah. And Medusa was super hot, but also terrifying because I hated snakes.
You know how it be.
She was kind of bad though. Not gonna lie.
do be vibing.
No, but that show's incredible as far as just with a mixture of the soundtrack and the fighting, dude. It's.
I haven't been watching a lot of anime recently. I watched part 5 of JoJo's. Like in the past year, I watched part 5 of JoJo's. I rewatched all of Attack on Titan, and I have a completely different opinion on it from the last time I rewatched it. And I finally watched Castlevania Season 3, which... Have you seen Castlevania?
I have not.
Okay, Season 3 is extremely tonally different because Season 1 is really, really gory, which is cool. Season 2 was also really, really gory, except they decided to introduce a lot of hot characters. And then everyone was like, yo, why are you introducing all of these hot characters? Why do I want to fuck Dracula? And then in Season 3, they were like, yo, we added hot characters last season. Guess what? We're going to add even more hot characters, and we're going to make everyone horny. And then I'm sitting here, and I'm like, okay, you had 2 really good seasons of gore and fighting, and now everyone's horny.
So it's...
And you do see titty.
So it's basically a subscription to Hentai Haven.
No.
No. No. No. No. No.
But all in all, it was a good season still.
Yeah. I haven't really thought to check out Castlevania.
It's really good.
As far as JoJo goes, recommend. I finished and stopped at Season 3 because to me, it was a good ending. I'm fine with that.
You only watched parts 1 and part 2?
No, I got to like the end of Dio. As far as
okay.
Like the main initial like bloodline.
Yeah, you finished part 3.
It's a good story. I like it there.
I'm gonna
because I heard after that it kind of just changes and it gets kind of confusing.
Whoever told you that is full of garbage.
I think you told me that, Calvin.
I might have. But, dude, let me tell you.
Because you're the one that showed me the show.
Part 1, it gets better every time I watch it, but I don't think it's that fantastic at writing. Part 2 completely, like, it masters the whole Haman stuff, and part 2 is my personal favorite part. And then part 3 has a lot of the issues that
I would have to agree. Part 2 as well.
Part 3 has a lot of the issues that part 1 has. And then, in part 4... he basically like finalizes this whole stand system, and part 4 it takes the scale of like fighting Dio, he can stop time, all this stuff, taking that huge scale, and they take it from this globe-trotting world adventure, and they take all that excitement, all of this fun, and they just squeeze it all into this town in the countryside of Japan. And it's like part 4 is hilarious. It's fun, it's colorful, it's mysterious, it's creepy, it's so good. And then part 5, they take everything and they're like, we're gonna take the classic JoJo stuff, we're gonna make it over 8 days, and we're gonna crank all the action up to 11, and guess what? This JoJo freaking kills people.
I feel like you're trying to put me in a pyramid scheme right now.
Trickle down marketing.
This is a hell of a sales pitch.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll definitely have to check it out.
JoJo's ain't my favorite show, but
it's not mine either. But it is definitely a good one.
It is. It's interesting. I think a lot of people that say that it's overhyped, I think you're right. But goddamn it, do I love that damn show?
It's yeah, it's good. I mean, I enjoy it. I had recently finished Haiku. Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Volleyball.
Yes, okay. That's why I know it. Yeah.
Dude, I never would have thought this show would be so incredible. Like it has characteristics that you're like, it has the kind of over dramatic and kind of corniness.
Yeah, that's what anime is known for.
That like a shogun, like shonen, my bad.
Yeah.
Like kind of upbeat character has, but dude, what I like about it is that the big thing that it kind of portrays is a sense of like humanness to like everything that happens in the show while it may be superhero like, is possible to anyone.
That's why sports anime are so popular, because it balances that craziness of, anime, and also grounds it super deep in reality. And I think that like that's why it's such a popular genre, but it just does not stick for me.
What I also like about it is how realistic it is. In the fact that like you see all the time where it's just like these characters, it's don't give up. In the show will portray that it's like, we can't give up, we're right there and you're rooting for them, and they're they're playing the toughest opponents, they're about to win, and then it's just like he'll miss a serve and that's how they lose.
Yeah.
In the dumbest way. And it can happen like that.
Yeah. The only sports anime I've really watched is Hajime no Ippo, and it's a boxing anime.
I've heard of it.
And it's really good. It's very good at
is it the one that's been around for a while? Like it's an old school, but it's like,
I think you're thinking of Baki.
I'm thinking of Baki.
Which I'm very
much
Baki.
thinking of Baki.
But Hajime no Ippo has been around for a while and it's still running, and it's like they masterfully, like, the way that they do the fights, the build up to it, all the tension that's released in the fight, and like they give all of the punches this like weight, and they over dramatize everything, but it's still a grounded in reality real boxing match. But Baki is, you're getting more into that fantasy thing, and I love Baki a lot. I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
With all the garbage that happens. This guy is in a fight and he gets his hand cut off, and then you're like, oh shit, he got his hand cut off. What's he gonna do? And then he's like, little did you know, I trained for 10 years punching bamboo with my bare hands, and I break my fingers every day. So now that I got my stump arm, I don't gotta worry about breaking my fingers when I falcon punch you into the next dimension. And then he punches this guy in the face with his stump arm. And it's like, what on earth? It's like all of the martial arts and stuff are real martial arts and real theories and stuff. And all of the muscles are anatomically correct. But it's all just cranked up to 11 at these fantasy levels. God.
You want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break. Hey guys, we're back. Nikki gave me some fudge brownie M&Ms. I ain't never seen these before in my life, so we're gonna do a live taste test right here. Got some fudge brownie boys. I definitely
tier list.
Tier list.
M&M edition.
I'm gonna be real. I'm putting pretzel M&Ms in my S tier. I fucking love pretzel M&Ms. You can't. We didn't get a single blue M&M in here. This is freaking.
Yo, these look kind of odd though.
They do be looking
kind of thick. She kind of.
Look. It tastes like a thick M&M.
Yeah, those are definitely.
It does have a little bit of a fudgy aftertaste.
It's a texture thing. It tastes just like an M&M. These to me are getting C tier vibes. Like
getting C tier.
Average.
There's too much chocolate. That's all it is.
Too much chocolate.
It's too much chocolate.
So, in my opinion, I put caramel M&Ms S tier. Those are my favorite.
Okay.
Pretzel M&Ms are very good
M&M
too.
flavors are there now? There's like what, coffee bean?
I mean,
there's some weird stuff.
But let's sing the classics
This
first.
one was a lot of brownie. That was a lot of brownie.
I'm gonna put this C for now.
See, I put peanut M&Ms in my C tier. I'm not a fan.
I think. See, do you think these are better than regular M&Ms?
No.
See,
regular M&Ms are definitely like an A tier.
I put them B tier. A classic, but you're never gonna go for just regular M&Ms. I get why people always put like just classics in an A tier.
I'm gonna grab my laptop and I'm gonna start tiering my shit out.
Okay,
right now.
yeah, we can kinda.
I want you to find the names of the things, and I'm just gonna like.
All M&Ms.
Yeah, all the M&M flavors right now, and under absolutely no criteria except name, we're gonna judge them.
I mean, we can go off of what we
Past
personally know.
experiences, of course. This laptop would stop being crap.
All right. You want me to wait till you got that pulled up?
We can keep talking in between.
So, yeah, I'm already getting... I just pulled up. There's definitely some weird ones I have not heard of. But, let's see.
Hold on, there's a tier list maker. I'm gonna see if I can find M&M's. Ampersand Gang. It's gonna be like... I clicked enter to search. Why get no search-o? I think it froze.
I got them pulled up, though. Sweet. Although the more I'm eating these, like...
I'm kind of digging them.
Yeah. They're definitely better than regular M&M's, in my opinion.
Huh. Okay. Huh. Why is the logo for Battle Books?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. There's like freaking nothing. Where's my M&M tier? I want to make an M&M tier list. Fuck it. We're just gonna write it down in notes. You know what? Frick it. We're not even gonna do that. We're just gonna say it. Say fuck it till like the last 10 minutes of the podcast.
All right. So peanut butter M&Ms.
Oh, flick. Peanut butter M&Ms are good. But like, see, if you have too many, then like your mouth starts to feel gross.
Yeah, I don't like the texture that I get with peanut butter M&Ms.
It's weird, but like,
also
like
the peanut butter like taste is not as strong in peanut butter M&Ms. Like a peanut M&M.
It almost feels like having a knockoff Reese's. So for that, I'm sorry, peanut butter M&Ms.
I'm thinking
you're getting C tier.
I'm thinking D tier.
You're right. D tier.
D tier.
D tier.
So classic M&Ms.
In my opinion, A tier. I mean, you can't go wrong with the classic. It's the right amount of chocolate, and they're just small enough that you can get a good amount of them in one single serve packaging. There's no drawbacks with different fillings.
I think you've changed my mind. I'll bump them up just for, like, I guess I'll never turn down an M&M.
You can't turn down. They're so, and it's like it's a thing where it's like, oh, I want chocolate, but you don't want to grab a Hershey bar because that's like a lot of chocolate.
You can also use it in cooking as well.
Exactly, you can use M&Ms and regular M&Ms and cookie. They're super versatile, and the shell of an M&M has a little bit of a different flavor to it. And it gives a little bit of texture and crunch that stuff like a Hershey bar doesn't.
Definitely. So A tier for regular. Peanut M&Ms.
I have warmed up to them as I have grown older.
So it's just coming to me now as with these hold a memory for you, right? Mm-hmm. These hold a very special place in your heart.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
We're doing the tier list now. No tangents. Come on.
No tangents on the peanut M&Ms. Holy crap!
That's a funny story.
So I'm thinking peanut M&Ms for me are an A tier because I like them better than regular M&Ms. Mm-hmm. But since I already moved regular M&Ms to A tier, I'm gonna keep peanut M&Ms A tier as well. They're not quite an S tier for me.
They're not an S tier for me either, but I'm gonna put them in B because like I've warmed up to them as I've gotten older. Like it's not like peanuts. That's gross. It's like I understand why people like them, but personally, if someone handed me the options between regular and peanut, I'm not fucking taking peanut.
Really?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
no. I'd eat peanut if it was the last flavor available, and I really wanted some M&Ms.
So this is our list together. So we need to compromise. So, what are you thinking? Because
I'm sorry, but I'm an unwavering B tier on this.
I think I can bump them down to B tier.
It's just like, also like, they're weirdly shaped.
That's how you nut.
Nut.
All right, so peanut
What's
M&Ms
next?
are going B tier.
What's next?
Crispy M&Ms. I have had these.
Never had them, but I like a Crunch Bar. I don't know how I feel about an M&M. What's your opinion? We'll go on your opinion.
They're mediocre.
They're mediocre, so
It's-
like, see,
Like the crunch itself,
Are they
if my memory
average?
serves me right, is not as good as a Crunch Bar.
see, here's my
It's-
thing.
But M&Ms are not big enough to have that amount of crunch. So it's not.
Exactly, and they already have a crunch with the shell, so you're defeating your own purpose. Go to like, dude, you're not even average. You're like, you trying to give yourself more crunch when you already have a perfect amount of crunch in the regular M&M.
That's true with the shell.
Out of here!
Are we not even gonna put them on the list?
You fucking go to F tier.
F tier? Yeah,
here,
fuck crispy M&Ms, dude. You know who would get crispy M&Ms?
Who?
The fucking Brits. 100%. God, I hate British people. Okay, that's gonna get me canceled.
That's gonna get you canceled.
All right, pretzel M&Ms. Automatic S tier.
S tier.
S tier.
Sweet, savory. It's got
It's the sweet and salty. It can't.
Ooh.
It can't be topped. Speaking of Brit, I just got freaking Edward.
the only drawback to pretzel M&Ms, the pretzel makes the M&M huge, which means you can't get as many M&Ms in a bag.
That's very true.
It's the only drawback to them. But it's just
Small price to pay for.
it's a small price to pay for
Yum.
salvation. For yum. Small
right.
price to pay for the crunch.
Next one, so mint M&Ms.
I've never
This is-
had them.
Okay, you want to talk controversial? How do you feel about mint? Like mint in
overall
food?
in food. I like Junior Mints. I like Spearmint. Mint Choco Chip is kind of overrated, but was whatever. A very average opinion on it.
I hate mint. It does not belong
It doesn't-
in food. For me, it just tastes like
Understandable. That's the number one complaint. It's like, I think it's overrated. If it's like, it's one of those things where it could go to F tier. I don't care.
toothpaste. I don't know when it changed because I used to love mint. Like I think I will eat Thin Mints and I will eat mint Oreos.
Understandable.
That's it. Other than that, I do not like any other mint products
Understandable, honestly.
that I know of. So mint M&Ms. That being said,
Sorry, you're going to the ranch. Yeah.
I would put them C. I will give them C.
You'll give them average?
I would say that because they are one of my favorite mint flavored things.
That's understandable.
Because of
we'll
that.
go with C. What's the next one?
Mini M&Ms.
Mini M&Ms? Okay. This is such like a childhood nostalgia thing. Getting them in those plastic tubes and throwing like 10 billion of, like taking swigs of the mini M&Ms and they're getting all stuck in your grimy little toddler teeth. S tier from me. Purely on nostalgia.
I didn't have the nostalgia trip like you did with these.
Where
I was
you put
I was
them?
a fruit by the foot guy.
How could you? See, I only
But they are good.
I only ever got them at like a church, and I'm sure if I had them now, I wouldn't like them. So like, I'm more comfortable with putting them at like a B.
You know
tier.
my only memory of getting them?
What?
That one summer camp we used to go
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
where
yeah.
we would
Uh-huh.
I think that was the only place I would ever get them.
I'm fine with putting them at like a B tier or lower.
I was gonna compromise and say A tier. I was gonna say look past your nostalgia.
We'll put it at B tier.
B tier?
Like, I'm sure if
I'm fine with that.
sure if I had it now, I'd be like, dude, why the frick did I love these as a kid?
I don't see them as often.
Yeah, I
as
don't know if
used
they
to.
make them anymore, but
They
whatever.
definitely do.
Okay, what we got next?
Almond M&Ms.
Fuck off.
I can't say I've had them. We throw them at F tier.
Yeah.
I
don't
like
like
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Peanut
Wanna,
is one thing, almond is another.
and I enjoy almond Hershey's though. Those are quite good. I feel sophisticated when I ate that. A little bit.
Because the bar is now round instead of flat.
Exactly. When I eat a peanut M&M, I feel like a nut.
I now am 3-dimensional.
Exactly.
You flat earthers would understand.
Yeah, F tier. Just nut.
Put in a Hershey's bar.
Dark chocolate M&Ms.
I like dark chocolate, but I've never had... Well, I have had dark chocolate M&Ms. I'd have to put them in A or B tier for similar reasons to regular M&Ms. Personally, I'm a bigger fan of dark chocolate, so I'd put it in A tier. But if you're not a big fan of dark chocolate, you could also put it in B tier.
I have never had these.
Really?
My feelings are neutral on dark chocolate. I don't hate it. If it's in I'll eat it. I'll enjoy it.
I love dark chocolate.
That being said, I can't really give an opinion. I feel like if I had them, I'd probably put them C, maybe B, if at the highest. It's not my favorite though.
What do we have in A?
We have,
I think regular and peanut in A.
no, we bumped peanut down to B.
We'll look back in the.
We only have regular.
You know what? We'll put dark chocolate in A.
I'll let you.
It's a palette swap of the original.
Well, because that's when we get into the next one, white chocolate M&Ms, which arguably is a different.
Gross. So I don't understand white chocolate because somehow they took milk chocolate's already really sweet, and they took a really sweet chocolate and they made it even sweeter. So it's like no.
I never thought M&Ms would be the thing to draw inspiration to controversial topics. I like white chocolate.
You like white chocolate? That's understandable. Oh man.
It's yummy. No, I've always been a fan of vanilla ice cream. I think it's just a matter of that sweet kind of cream.
Why don't we put all three of white milk and dark chocolate in A tier, all for the same reasons. They're just palette swaps of each other, you know?
Here's what I say. We leave regular M&Ms A tier, and then hypothetically, the white chocolate is in my A tier, the dark chocolate is in your A tier, but in our overall tier list, PEMDAS, they cancel out.
Okay, understand.
As all things, light and darkness. There's an end and a fall.
All right. What's the next one?
Caramel M&Ms. S tier. I love them. They're my favorite M&Ms. White chocolate, get your ass out of here. I love caramel M&Ms. They're so gas.
I believe it. Caramel M&Ms are good.
You on S tier?
I'll put them in S tier.
All right. Nothing wrong with that. So, birthday cake M&Ms. Have not had them.
I'm so tired of everyone with this birthday cake shit.
Do you not like
I think
along the
birthday
same
cake
lines
is overrated.
I agree. I feel like birthday cake foods can often be too sweet.
We'll put I'm feeling a solid C.
You know what? I was leaning towards B, but I'll put it at C.
I'm feeling it's a solid C.
Coconut M&Ms.
Fuck, I hate coconut. Put that shit in F tier.
Dude.
Immediately.
I kind of like coconut.
I'll
be honest.
I hate the texture. I hate the flavor. Same thing with freaking pineapple.
Dude, oh man. I think like Almond Joy, top 5 bar for me.
Right.
Top 5 candy bar for me. I just I'm a fan of coconut. It's not my favorite though. That said,
yeah,
I'll put it C.
I get it. Okay, we'll put C. C for coconut.
Mega M&Ms.
Mega M&Ms? Are those just like thick M&Ms?
They're just thick boys. It says here they're XXL. There's some.
I don't know how to feel about it. I feel like that's a lot of chocolate. It defeats the purpose of the classic M&M.
Very much so. I feel like it'd be too much. I'd give it a
F
D.
tier. D tier it is. There we go.
So this next one I have seen. I haven't tried it. Coffee nut M&Ms.
I've had
they have a coffee
M&Ms.
bean. Do they have a coffee bean in them?
Yes, they have a coffee bean in them, and my opinions on them. Just get yourself chocolate covered coffee beans. Instead of giving coffee bean M&Ms, first of all, they'll be cheaper and you'll get a lot more and you get literally the same exact flavor. It's just like, it's sweet and it has a little bit of a coffee bitter to it. And it's like, dude, you're doing yourself a disservice by getting that small of a bag.
I'm a coffee snob. I love coffee to death.
I love coffee.
The drink itself, I drink my coffee just black.
I almost bought a pour over cup.
I'm gonna buy a pour over cup for college.
You're
yes.
gonna, dude, I'm gonna buy one too. Yes, yes.
Congrats, we're both super white. Like, oh my god.
Okay, where are you putting them? Because I'll agree with you.
That said, I haven't had them. It was gonna take a turn though. There was a but with this.
And as
statement.
we know, everything before a but doesn't count.
Exactly. Well, I do love coffee.
Yes.
I don't love other things that are coffee besides coffee. Much like the mint, I don't like mint in my food. It's too strong.
Just toothpaste.
It's too strong.
Yeah.
It
overpowers.
Yeah.
Where are you thinking of putting them?
That said, I feel like there's a good balance. I feel like there'd be a good balance with the sweet and the bitter. I'd probably put them B.
Okay, understandable. Is that crispy M&Ms again?
Yes.
We already talked about that.
Fudge brownie M&Ms.
We just had them. They kind of grew on me a little bit. I was gonna put them a D tier at first. I'm thinking like C.
I'm thinking C.
Very average.
Yeah.
It's
nothing.
Hazelnut. Hazelnut's good.
I have tried these.
Have you?
Tastes like a little Nutella little pooplet. Yeah, it's good. To me, they're probably along the lines of B tier.
Okay.
I think.
I believe you.
All right, now we're getting into the really odd ones.
Find some of the weirdest ones you can find, because
I have had these
almost
ones.
at an hour.
Hot cocoa M&Ms.
What?
They are S tier. They are incredible. Imagine a hot cocoa, like it's a sweeter milk chocolate.
Uh-huh.
It's along the.
See,
there's no other way to describe it than
I personally
hot cocoa chocolate.
I can't go too sweet, but
it's not too sweet. It's
Well,
the hot cocoa chocolate flavor.
We'll go
beyond
S-tier.
a milk chocolate.
Welcome to S tier hot cocoa M&Ms.
Very yummy. Dulce de leche M&Ms. Is that what? That's kind of like that's basically caramel M&Ms.
That's something of milk.
English toffee M&Ms.
I hate English toffee. I hate it.
I don't mind toffee. I like toffee. That said, I feel like it wouldn't
toffee.
go along.
I don't like saltwater taffy. They're like Laffy Taffy, shit like that. Get it out of here. I don't. M&Ms are like that's so known for just being like a nice bite and a nice crunch, and like caramel has enough thickness to it where you can still get a decent bite, but like with toffee, it's just like you bite into it and your teeth sink and they're moving through it as slow as molasses, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is never gonna end. And then you finish biting off half the M&M and you're like, oh my god, now I have to chew it.
But is that like a butterscotch flavor? Probably. You gotta.
I don't know. I love butterscotch though.
I think it is.
Just scroll on through. I don't even want to put the brain power into it.
Honey Nut M&Ms. Those sound good to me.
Do you remember when we were growing up and they had the Honey Nut Cheerio ad that was basically like, if you're a middle-aged dad and have high blood pressure and you don't eat Cheerios, you're gonna die. Because we lower cholesterol and everything else doesn't.
Yeah, to a certain degree, I remember parts of it.
All right, let's set up a couple more and then we'll...
White chocolate peppermint M&Ms.
Okay, those are really good. I'm gonna be honest.
I like those better. Those put me in a Christmas spirit.
Those are a big Christmas vibe.
I think an A tier. I'm thinking A tier.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up one last one, and then we're gonna move off this topic. My water bottle fell over. Okay. Where on the list do you put Reese's Pieces?
So,
compared to M&M's, a pure peanut butter M&M.
Slow down. Am I comparing peanut butter M&Ms to Reese's Pieces?
We are putting Reese's Pieces on the M&M tier list.
I'll be honest
completely out of left field.
I love peanut butter. It is my favorite food of all time. Mm-hmm. I had this talk with you earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Your preferred method of eating peanut butter.
Yes.
Mine is with my hands in a jar. Handfuls of peanut butter.
Yes.
On my body. Naked.
Lather it up, baby.
2 a.m. Animal Crossing soundtrack.
So what I'm hearing is S tier.
No.
Yo, what?
No. There's a but.
How can you not?
So, Reese's, my favorite candy. Reese's Fast Break, my favorite candy bar. Reese's Pieces are okay. They're not my favorite Reese's.
You can go down.
I know you love them.
They're literally my favorite candy. Like, my top 2 favorite candies of all time are Reese's Pieces and freaking candy corn. I love them, dude. And everybody hates on them.
I like candy corn, and I was going to bring up there's candy corn M&Ms, too, that I think I've had before.
Those are not good.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, that's the podcast.